Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you may find yourself as you listen to this. And welcome to the podcast that is still right about everything I've said about Notre Dame in the college football playoff. It's a black and white thing featuring A1 and A Ward. I am one half of the dynamic duo. I'm A1. Please remember you can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, wherever you find the good podcasts. Give us 5 stars, leave a comment, share the audio version of that broadcast. Although, if you watch on Spotify, you can watch the video version of this podcast as well. I do like that little setup they have from Spotify where you can go from visual to just audio if you like. You can also check us out here on YouTube, live on YouTube, at least once a week, by searching for Brains and Bars. You can also search for some content revolving around this week in the NBA. The first episode dropped last week. New episode drops next Monday on that as well. And I am going to actually do a full breakdown about everything Notre Dame, just because I feel like yesterday I didn't really get all my points out just due to time's sake. So I am going to do a special content episode on that as well to help the uninformed be informed about why Notre Dame is why they are the way they are, and the way they approach things in college football. And you can check us out at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at Brains and Bars. And as you can see, I got my guy decked out in his Tennessee gear. I like the powder baby blue Tennessee colors is one of my favorites. Shout
Yeah,
out to the Lady Vols, always been one of my favorites. But shout out to my guy Ward in the building. What's going on, man?
man, good, bro. Not too bad. Not too bad, man. Been a pretty productive day, I'd say. So
Apparently, Miami people, they're
let's
saying,
go, Noah. Let's go, Noah.
oh, you know this person. Good,
No,
good.
I
I didn't want
don't.
to start.
I just see the
Oh,
U on his hoodie.
okay. I didn't want to just start going in. Anyway, no, congrats to y'all though. Congrats to
I
y'all.
might know Noah. I might not. I might just not forgot. But yeah, regardless, I'm with him.
I'm not a salty Notre Dame guy. I just want the narratives around my school to be accurate and consistent and fair. That's it. But anyway, uh yeah, you definitely don't know him. Yeah, you don't know
Oh
him.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
I don't
yeah, you don't know him.
know, but
Anyway,
I'm guessing JA. It's laughing in Spanish, right? I think that's what that is.
sure. But anyway, how are you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm good, bro. I am good. I was just thinking about I was just thinking um, about this card that I had. I remember when I got this card, when I got this Nico Iamaliava first edition, and I went and got it
Holograph
graded.
too, right?
Yeah, I went and got it graded. It's an image variation. I remember when I first got it, what it was worth, you know. And then, I was rummaging through all of my cards, and I found this one that I did not sleeve up at all, just laying there. And this is a Joey Aguilar from Appalachian State. And I just thought to myself, man, sometimes we look at things and we're told that there's value. And we look at other things and we just don't even put it in a plastic sleeve and toss it over and throw it in. It's just a sermon that'll preach, man. It's just a sermon that'll preach. It's not there for me right now, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over here on my shrine of, let's see if I can show on my Tennessee, card shrine. We got T. Martin, Hendon Hooker. We got Peyton over here. Joe Aguilar. We got to sit him there.
Now, is he one and done?
He joined the lawsuit, the Diego Pavia lawsuit that gave Diego Pavia whatever his 9th year. So I don't know how that works. It's a lawsuit against the junior college years, however it may work. So we'll see. But we got a top 2 quarterback in the nation that signed with us. Faison Brandon, really really good recruit. So who knows?
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I can't wait to see what happens there. Um, so you see the name of the title of the episode. Shout out Mama Ward, by the way. I always want to make sure we salute the matriarch of the show.
Absolute.
Um, the title, it says it's always sunny in Illadelphia. So we're going to talk battle rap. We didn't get a chance to talk about that last night, so we want to get into a little bit of battle rap tonight. So yeah, man, let's get into it. First we're going to talk about Illadelphia. Um, Hard went. Oh, shout to my homie Eric Ashby in the
Hey,
building.
what's going on, Eric?
Um, we Hard went down this past weekend. Shout to TBL, Chilla, Kenny, the whole crew. Um, was not well received. Probably of their biggest card. Probably this is probably their first, and I hate to dub it and or describe it in this term, but I think it's their first card that kind of had like a fail to it. I feel like now you're here, TBL, right? Like you've had some amazing cards this year. You had Apollo. I forget the card you had in Atlanta that
Bulletproof.
was kind of bulletproof. You got the what is it? Hold on, make sure. WTBL women's tourney that went off first round. Hold on. I think Ward, is that me or you that's got like the mic messing up?
Mike, I don't know. My furnace just popped on, so if there's like a noise in the background, that's probably why. It should go off in a second. But at first I was like, dang. But then I was like, you know what? We're talking about Illadelphia. Like, honestly, I don't know. I feel like that just happened for a reason. That the audio and the mic and the distortion and everything. Like, I feel like that was like it's part of the what needed to happen.
Yeah. And maybe that was Mama Ward. Maybe she was saying maybe that was what made me ask you that question. I thought maybe that was see you and her. I mean this is why that's your mother. That's why you're the son, and
Yeah,
I'm just I'm the
she writes it all,
outsider.
bro. She writes it all.
So from your experience in the building for that, I mean, was it packed? Was it I was in and out. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the battles. So was it like a packed venue, packed house?
Yeah, definitely a packed out venue. I mean, I wouldn't say like wall to wall because there's an area in the back where you can go to like the bar, and it wasn't like people were standing back there. You know what I mean? But like similar to like Summer Impact, there's an area over there with the bar where people could kind of talk, but inside the where the stage is and everything is like completely packed out. VIP sections completely full. People sitting over there, crowd all the way to the back to where you go to the bathrooms and stuff. Balcony full, probably two or three rows on the balcony of people trying to look over and see. So I would argue that there was close to like 700 people there, maybe something like that. I think that I was told that like the venue held 900. Like
Mhm.
max capacity. So I would argue that there's 750 people there. By the time Eazy and Cassidy rapped, I think it probably was maxed out. But during the night, there was probably around 700. Good energy. First thing I noticed when I walked in is I was told that it was going to be a stage originally, main stage originally. Then I was told 2 weeks before it was going to be an elevated pit, similar to how I battled Av on Power Moves,
Yeah.
where like a stage, but the crowd is around you. And then when I walked in, it was just a pit, which kind of threw me off because I'm like, yo, a pit with balconies and this many people is not normally, what's conducive for that. But at the end of the day, like you got to compete on whatever you're given, So the
Shout out
two,
DNA Tooth in the building.
let's go.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So
Actually, my mom just logged into her other account on accident. Y'all don't know that my mom is actually DNA's tooth.
listen, man, do not put that out in the air
I'm just
because it's gonna be some people looking for your mother with all everything that the tooth be putting out in social media.
yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about your battle with Jay. How do you feel like your performance was in that particular matchup?
Yeah, so obviously we were like about 4 or 5, something like that. And throughout the night, I mean, I'm in the crowd. I'm trying to listen to bars. I'm up there behind Loso while he's rapping. I'm up there behind Chef Trez while he's rapping. Behind Chilla while he's rapping. I'm in the back. Like I can tell that this is a very difficult, mic situation, and it's a very difficult for the performer because there's like a delay or distortion or everything, right? That's the last thing you want in when you're using a mic. And then
Yeah.
I can tell that I can tell that it's very difficult for the crowd as well. Because I'm in the crowd listening too, and I'm like, yo, like this is not it. Um, at one point I went up and I thought I was serious, but I just told him, I'm like, I'm not using these mics. Like, the last thing I want is something distracting me while I'm trying to wrap my rounds, Um, but nevertheless, that we had to do what we had to do. So, in each battle, I felt like one mic was a little bit better than the other, but they still were both bad. Like, I mean, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, I talked to the bloggers, and Jay Black told me he couldn't understand anything anybody said up in the balconies. Uncle Ross saying he tried to get clips on his phone, and when he played it back, it wasn't worth posting. You know what I mean? You couldn't, just. So I think the one thing that I did in the battle better was, one, I was louder. Than my opponent, and I was more open to the crowd and entertaining and trying to do my best so that they could see and hear me phonetically, and then they could that we make eye contact and they could kind of understand what I'm going with my material.
Yeah.
I thought my material was great going into the battle, and I won in the building. I don't think I lost a round at all in the building. However, there's two reasons. There's two things. It's like, we couldn't hear Jay, and most of that is the microphone, but the other part of it is that he didn't open up. He just delivered his material the same way he does. He rapped it. He looked at me. He didn't, really improvise and try to, figure out a way to communicate that. So it's a battle that's like, man, one, it was supposed to be on Exodus, so it didn't go down. When they threw it on this event, I felt like that they just wanted to get a battle done for me because that's two in a row that's been no showed, and I think that they're probably just thinking like, listen, we've already gave him a whole lot of money. Like, we need an award battle, and it really is. It's similar to like the three best battles, in my opinion, were battles that involved nobody from Philadelphia, like going into the event with
Yeah.
Loso, Rum Nitty, Chef Trez, Real Deal, and me and Jay the Nightwing. So there's these three battles in the middle of the card that I think, for battle rap purposes, are actually really dope battles
Mhm.
that are put on this event. And so I just think that, like, a lot of people were kept like, A-Ward and Jay the Nightwing should have never been put on that card. That's all hindsight's 2020. I mean, had the mics worked, I mean, it was night and day, bro. Right after my battle, they went to go buy new mics, and literally, the energy in the building shifted whenever you could hear Bill Collector when he did his mic check. Like, everybody was almost like so excited because this is the first battle of the night, like 3-4 hours in, that they could
That
actually
you
hear.
could hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, if me and Jay were able to get our bars off with that kind of clarity or whatever, I think it would have made for a really, really good battle. Listening to him was tough. Just you're kind of psyched out a little bit, like, I'm trying to hear what he's saying so I can rebuttal it, but I'm also having issues with his mic, hearing what he's saying and stuff like that. So there's a lot that I didn't get, a lot that I did hear that I thought was like cool, but not, otherworldly. But ultimately, like, he's really good. He's a really good writer. He's a really good rapper. I just think in that setting, I don't think he adapted. Even if the mics would have worked, I don't think his material and his delivery and his everything would have adapted to be on the same level of mine with, when you're just having to rap to 750 people.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to TBL for actually saying, okay, we're going to go get new mics.
Yeah,
So whether they had them on hand or whether they had to literally run out to
they
some
did.
electronic
Yeah,
store
yeah.
to
There
go
was a
grab them.
45-minute delay. Yeah, they had to go.
Oh, they stopped the event to go get. Oh man, that's shout out to them. Shout out to them. So let me ask you this, because you are friends with Chilla. In your position, do you feel a need to offer, I guess, either from an artist and a friend perspective, do you feel the need to offer him advice after this event, right? To say, hey, this is what I think could have gone better. Do you offer any critique of that sort to him being in that position?
Not really. Chilla and Kenny they know this business. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit. I don't know why they didn't just go get new mics right after Chilla's battle. You were at Apollo. I don't know if you
Yep.
remember, like that we had mic issues in those battles, and they took the mics away. And Loso battled J2 without mics. They made
Yes.
an adjustment after like the first battle, right? And they got it all taken care of or whatever. It was just odd to me that they just kept doing the battles after the battles after the battles with the bad mics. I don't know how to explain that to them. It's just like you knew it wasn't the sound system because Kenny had a handheld mic that worked perfectly. Primo had a handheld mic that worked perfectly. When they spoke into it, you could hear it. The speakers were fine. We knew it was the mics. It was always the mics. Um, and so for me, you know, the only advice that I'm going to give them is stuff that they probably now are thinking like, okay, it's like, yo, was there a sound check? Like with these microphones, was there a sound check? I know I didn't do a sound check. I know, no, like, and with that much money invested into an event, like, come on now, like, and and then um and then two, like, why did it take 5 battles to be like, okay, we got to go get new mics? Like they were like we knew they were bad after the first one, you know. Um, and so like, there's not really any advice to give them. I think they know it. I think they're doing their best to like um handle it accordingly. You know, let's say Cassidy and Eazy goes down 3 rounds, whatever, on the clear mics and everything. That's a band-aid. It sucks with the first 4 or 5, but whatever, but we completed the objective, and we're good. So the mic issues coupled with the fact your main event didn't even finish, that's why, it's a lot going on. Um and it's a learning process, bro. Like TBL this year has just became like one of them leagues. You know what I mean? Like they
Absolutely.
came out and said, and what I did say is like to Chilla is like, yo, heavy is the head. Like, like, I mean, URL has to deal with this for 20 years. Have a bad event or whatever, all of the tweets, all of your this, your that, we couldn't hear. We want our money back. Like they deal with this. The top of the top deal with this.
Yeah.
It's a testament to you doing something right. You guys are doing something right. Um, I think that they just need to. I just think they need to kind of get back to, you know, like you said, this was probably the first um, card that was, I guess, deemed a failure. Um, but even the card before, um, Exodus. So your main event battle is gone. You know, um, you got to take two battles off the card. A couple weeks before, because we can't have this person battling and we can't have this person battling after announcements are made. Jay gets sick. We don't end up battling. Um, there's something to say when like you're investing in to certain people. You know what I mean? When you're kind of putting all your eggs in the basket and putting those cards together that way, um, and there are variables and different things that are associated with those people that give the percentage of a chance that this might not go down. So I think that they need to get back, analyze what they want to do going forward. Like, are we trying to throw these mega matches together? Are we trying to throw just great cards? Are we trying to the WTV? I think is super fire. I think that's going to be really really good. The first card was, and then I think they need to just say, hey, like, we had a bad issue with these microphones. Let's not let it happen again. I don't know what all happened. Ruin Your Day was on the flyer. Ruin Your Day was not there. Um, so Avocado was on vacation. Shout out to Eddie I. I rock with Eddie I heavy. I've seen him film many events, not one of this caliber, but I've seen him film and do things for many events, and they've ran very well. But
Yep.
whatever the production team was there, I think that it could have just been done a little bit more thorough. And I'm willing to bet that if Avocado, or JB was filming this, that after that first battle, we would have made some changes before we kept going.
That's interesting. I did not know that part about Ruin Your Day not being a part of the. Because I think I saw in the comments like where's Avo? I feel like I'd seen things like that, but I just didn't put two and two together. So,
Yeah,
okay, so you touched a little bit on about without saying any names about having certain people on the card, and I don't think you were going there, but I'm going to go there, right? So Eazy The Block Captain, Cassidy. There was a lot going on around who was allowed into the venue, who wasn't allowed into the venue. There's the viral video of Tex talking to Cash like, "Yo, they won't let me and Moo in the building," and Cash like, "Ha ha, oh man, that's crazy, that's crazy, right?" Um, so from your perspective, if you are in Easy's position, like, is that something that you would also say, like, "Yo, I don't want this person, that person in the building"? If you are the main event, you are the headliner, you're the biggest investment on this card, would you also take that same tack?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like now here's my thing. If I had like a legit reason to be like, yo, no, I don't rock with that person. You know what I mean? Like they're not welcome here. You know, they can get the pay per view. You know, I don't rock with them, and I don't know why. I mean, I don't. I mean, I guess that there's a trenches beef and all that kind of stuff or whatever. I'm not saying because you don't like me or because we got beef, you can't be there. But like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just say for some reason, Verb or the boss or somebody that I just at times in my career I've been like, yo, I just don't rock with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's similar to like if I'm on stage, no, you can't be up here. No, you got to go. You in the building, okay, cool, but you can't be up here on stage. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
talk to my rounds. Like I don't mind making those kind of decisions or whatever. What I will say is this is um, like when you make those decisions, right? It just I don't know. For me, if it's a safety thing,
Mhm.
you know, like that's when you should make. That's what. But like you said, I'm the investment. It's my show. I know you're putting this event on. It's my show. You want me? All right, here's in my contract. This person can't pull up. This person can't pull up. This person can't pull up. Just like I got 10 plus ones, whatever it may be. I mean, I see why, and I wouldn't be mad if Cassidy said the same thing. Wouldn't be mad if Hitman was like, "No, Byron Blake cannot come into this building. Like, you will not sell him a ticket." Wouldn't be mad if like that's just how it is. Now, I do think that Easy has these toxic relationships with everybody, So like it's kind of like, bro, like I think it's on the league to be like, you know what? Is it really worth booking him? Because if I book him, I have a list of people that can't come to the event, and I have a list of people who can't rap on the event. So now you have a league who you're saying, okay, that person is so much of an investment, you know, I'm going to affect, who can battle on the card, who can't, because at this point, there are people that they've taken off cards that probably would not battle for TBL again because they got taken off the card because of Easy.
Mm. And I guess that's the risk. That's the calculus of the risk and reward you got to take, right? If you're going to have him on the card, are you willing to offend certain political connects to get this battle done? And I guess it's unfortunate, right? The first one's not his fault. I think Twerk had an unfortunate incident happen. Someone died that he was really close to in his life, and so that one went down. But this one, I'll ask you, when this battle goes down, Easy and Cass, where are you in the building?
I'm in the back. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just in the back by Real Deal's merch table, just listening to the bars because I can hear them now. I don't have to be up there. So just listening to the round. Um, then at the end of like the first, I think the first ended right. We were in the second round, or no?
no, they were in Cass's. No, no, no,
In,
no, no. They were in Easy second. They were in Easy second. They got
yeah,
through the first round
yeah.
into
I
Easy
had
second.
I went upstairs to see if I could like see it from the balcony or whatever, and I'm
Yeah,
watching it when it kind of like, oh, they're fighting, I'm like, yo, what? You know what I mean? And I turned to my right and I'm standing. I didn't even know I was standing by Remy. So like I started talking to Remy, because she's standing right beside me. And like, we kind of both shaking our head, whatever, and we're just talking about stuff that I was like, oh, how you been? Good. How's it going?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
because she wasn't even like in no like big rush to like run down there or nothing. She just watched like, here we go. You know what I mean? Type mentality. And I mean, it didn't look like a brawl or anything like that. So I don't think anybody was. I think it was just kind of like a scuffle or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just like, bro, it's like, I mean, Cassidy's last battle he didn't show up for. You know, um, you know, you got Easy who's saying people can't show up, can't do this, can't do that, and he's supposedly having another battle the next day. That's a surprise. But there's just so much stuff going on, bro. Like it's just not about battling and getting the bars done, getting the rounds done. And it's just kind of like, what do you think you get like when you invest in like a situation that has so many variables that can make this battle not happen?
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about entourages. Now, obviously, you don't roll with a deep crew. Um, but if you, in this instance, let's just say you're battling. Actually, before we get to that, I want to make this point. Let's take a quick detour. You froze up on me a little bit too. I don't know if you're good. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Am I not moving right now?
Nah, but I mean, as long as you can hear me right now, I think we're good. I won't have you exit and come out. Nah, you still froze. Shout out to Rosenberg.
I can pop in and back out.
All right, all right. Yeah, so I think yo, hold on, Loso. Hold on, Loso. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second here. So while War is popping in and back out, we got another. Shoot, I ain't mean to click that, y'all. Give me a second. All right, Ward, you're back. I can see you. Give me 1 second. So what I was saying is that when you are someone, if you have a large entourage and you have a large crew that you roll with, like what would be your, especially going into a battle where it's been heated, what would be your approach to your crew to say, yo, when we get on this stage or in this pit, how are you going to tell them to respond if things get a little heated?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a conversation beforehand. I try to always know who's going to be up there on stage with me. I don't know if Cass was like, yeah, Enes is going to be right behind me, and this person's going to be right here, and this person's going to be right there. Because a lot of people are just super unpredictable. For me, I got my guys. And I'll probably see something in the battle because there's no expectation of the people that I'm with to like do anything absolutely crazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I remember at a very small scale when I battled Great Britain and he got like super up in my face or whatever. Quest was like, was right there, like you know what I mean. And like it wasn't nothing at the end of that, but like, um, that's why it's like, like when you got these big entourages and you got people that really don't like each other and stuff like that, it's just such a risk that you take with somebody saying something or somebody in the crowd saying something. It doesn't become like one on one anymore. It becomes like everybody's trying to get screen time. Everybody's trying to get um, whatever it may be. I remember when Loso battled Twerk. Twerk had a bar for me. He hit me with like 2 bars, and finally, I got in his face like, yeah, you ducked, you ducked, you ducked. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Um, you know, that's Loso wasn't expecting that. And in hindsight, it could have been detrimental to his round or whatever. It could have been something that like I should have just been like roll my eyes or whatever. Um, but yeah, you just gotta be you gotta be mindful of that. But yeah, the whole big entourage thing, it's never been like that with me. I don't roll that deep. I don't roll. I don't think it's ever been a situation like that. But that's when it just becomes about more than the rounds, man. And it's just like I said, that's when you're investing in something to where somebody who has nothing to do with this battle can ruin this battle. You gave
Yeah,
thousands of dollars to two different battlers to write, to perform, and because it's such a big entourage, my crew, your crew, everybody wants to make it about something else, looking whatever. Now your risk over reward is it's just huge.
yeah. So I know in college football they have this. I don't know if they have it in the pros. They have the get back guy who's there
Yeah,
to grab the coach. He's almost. I feel like I've seen certain situations where the guy is literally tethered to the coach.
Yeah.
to make sure to pull him back like on a rope, almost like you would do a child.
Yep.
I think when you have an entourage that big, there's got to be somebody that you designate as your get back guy. Somebody, if it's a capo, lieutenant, whoever it is that holds a certain rank within that crew that says, "Yo, hey, this isn't happening. Back up, chill out. It's only battle rap. We're here to get this money. We're here to get these bars off because
Yeah,
I
but
can't
you
imagine."
didn't book a battle that it's only battle rap. You know what I mean? Like you didn't book that battle. You know, like it is about being aggressive and it is about, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And nobody's
Yeah,
going to want to publicly have somebody that's like, yo, chill. This is just rap. It's just rap or whatever, because then you break the fourth wall of all the promo and you take away from the material in the second and third round or whatever. And that's what happens is whenever you got guys that are trying to be so tough and so, you know, this, what, that, and the third, it's like, that's the risk that you run. Like, you know, that's why, you know, most of the time you have, you know, security and different things like that to be like, yo, this, you know, boom, let's cut that out. Let's nip that in the bud. Whoop, you know?
so I'll ask you this, and if it's a no comment, I respect that. Are you interested in seeing the objective being completed in this battle?
I want the battle to get done for TBL. You know, I rock with Chillin' and for the sake of the battle getting done. Yes. As far as the first round that I heard, I thought it was very underwhelming. I was very underwhelmed by Eazy the Block Captain's round. The iOS 23 to download them, update them, all this stuff. I thought, okay, where's this going? You know what I mean? Like this is maybe a semi-creative type of angle. No haymakers hit for me. There was no full circle moment. There was nothing. It just was him just, you know, as I'm listening. I thought it was extremely mid. Cassidy comes out and he goes straight into angle mode about his mother. He hits like the haymaker of the Tay Rock stuff or whatever. But then he just gets dry. He just keeps rapping, whatever. And it's like, if that was gonna be more of that for Cass, like I'm cool, you know. Maybe Eazy wrote up. I don't know, but it was just definitely I actually had Cassidy edging the first round. I think, even though, you know, Eazy's a better battle rapper, I just was like, what is this? Like, I mean, and I don't know if you've watched that round or not. Maybe I missed some things in the building or whatever, but I'm just like, none of this is really hidden from me. Like, you can't just talk to people. You have to actually creatively punch or tie the angle in or whatever it may be, you know?
I respect that. So coming to the stage, he writes with God and he's right with God. The man Loso. Maybe. There he is. Oh, one
Maybe.
second. Needs 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, that just maximizes you. Pay no attention to me. I thought he'd go a two screen. I'm still learning how to use this. I'm an old man. Yo, can you hear us, Loso?
Okay.
Maybe.
Hello? Y'all
Yep,
got me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
I hear you.
Welcome.
Am I
How you doing,
wait,
sir?
am I lagging?
No.
Not right now.
Okay. All right, cool. Probably just my
Well, I mean, kind of. You said that and then you froze right on the lagging part. But I think you're good right now. I think you're good
okay.
now. Maybe.
I mean,
It's in and
no,
out.
I'm also not moving though. Am I lagging or am I
Okay.
just not moving?
I think
Maybe
it's just
just three.
intermittent. I think it's just intermittent. Like you'll be good for like 30 seconds and then it'll be like a little 2 second lag and then you'll be good for like 30 seconds. But I can
Yeah, but
see you fine right now.
I feel the same way about you though, Ward. Like
Yeah.
A1's the only one that's like in 4K.
Hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Get me right.
All
Turn me
right, let's
up.
get it.
Turn me up. All right, yo. So thank you for joining us. You know, we're not gonna listen, we're not here to rehash any of the arguments over the past 5 days. I just want to let you know that right now. There's gotta be another episode if we're gonna do that. But
And that's
I
why
want
I
to
asked for the link.
yeah. But we're talking battle rap right now. So from your perspective, you were in the building as well. Let's talk about your battle versus Rum Nitty. How do you feel like your battle versus Rum went?
So I don't know what Ward said about his battle. I just felt like the whole night, bro, because of the quality of the microphones, the quality of production, which, you know, I mean, you could put the phone on whoever you want to put it on. it just was an uneven playing field for some people. Some mics were even worse than other mics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got off the stage and there was several people who literally just told me, yo, I could not hear you. Jay Black was like, yo, I did not hear anything you said. So that definitely affected, obviously, my delivery. I felt like I was straining my voice while I was up there. You know, a lot of people, you know, yelling in the background, even during his battle, like, you know, just like, oh, you know, get louder, stuff like that. And it's like, bro, like, it's tough in there. You know, the mic should have just been the first thing that we checked off the list for the night when we talked about, like, yo, is everything up to par? And so because of that, you know, it didn't go the way it went, but there were some bright spots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was definitely freestyling. I was definitely rebuttaling. I had a good time up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nitty's Nitty, you know what I'm saying? He's going to give you great material as always. So, you know, it's not the way that I wanted to. It definitely wasn't my best performance to end the year, but, you know, was what it was. We'll see how people kind of like judge it.
All right. So I was actually getting ready to talk about respective years here. So Ward, I'll start with you. How do you? I mean, well, never mind. You sent me something, so so I'll stay away from that because I don't know if people know about that or not. So, how do you feel like your 2025 has gone this year?
Dang, now it looks like I'm lagging. I would say, I mean, it's gone as good as it could go, you know, considering, you know, um, I feel like I haven't lost a battle. I haven't lost a battle all year long, you know, like, so that's good. I firmly feel that way. Um, I feel like I have, a battle of the year type battle, you know, from what the people say, which you see.
Yep.
Um, I feel like I debuted on URL. I battled twice on URL. You know, I battled on Summer Madness. Like, that's dope. I got clear wins over, you know, T Top, uh, uh, Swamp, Coffee. Um, uh, there's other ones on there. I'm trying to think, but yeah, I got battle True Foe, Swave Seva. I got clear win. I feel like over Jay the Nightwing. You know, like, I just feel like I've done my job every time out, you know. And that's all you can ask for. Like, when you look at my resume, you're gonna see, I think, probably like 18 battles, and you're gonna see clear wins over some of what people consider some of the best battlers in the world. And you're gonna see battle of the year stuff. You're gonna see moments. You're gonna see debuts. You're gonna see impact from Summer Madness. You know, I mean, the Jack Boy. I know I'm prisoner of the moment right now, but, like, you know, the Jack Boy battle. You know, like with Smack jumping up and down and everything. You know, like, that's definitely. But that's why you schedule stuff at the end of the year, so it's on people's minds going into that that conversation, right? So, yeah, like, I mean, I just feel like, you know, it's a little different if Twerk shows up. And then, you know, I battle Jay the Nightwing on Exodus, and then I have another name on this card, you know. But I don't want, and I think that that's what a lot of people will try to do, is I don't want to look at what didn't happen. Like, I want you to look at what did happen, and what did happen is I showed up 18 times in 12 months, you know, against the top competition, you know, against pretty much like 10 to 12 like names, and then, you know, a handful of, you know, up and comer, you know, type joints or whatever. And yeah, I didn't lose. There's no stain on my resume. There's no, like, hey, yeah, but this happened, you know.
Yeah. All right, Loso. I never thought I'd see the day where there'll be a horseman outside more than Ward will be in one year. But you are the leader in appearances for the Four Horsemen this year. So how do you feel like your year has gone in 2025?
The leader in appearances in all of battle rap. But
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there was also one year though. There was one year where Saga went crazy. I think, right, Ward? Like, there was
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did a
know.
lot. Yeah.
It was like 2020. I mean, it was a lot of one rounders too, but it was like there was one year where he was like outside. But yeah, man. I think, I mean, I'll say this. I always think that I'm always having a good year. This is the narrative around this year was just different because of the frequency of battles. So I always think I have a good year, but it was just something that people just wanted to get behind for whatever reason.
Man,
It
you
was
was
just
wilding. I mean,
Yeah,
like
no, 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 no,
respectfully,
no, no,
right?
no, no. It was, but I spoke. I mean, I spoke to Ward. I mean, Ward brought this up to me before, and it was he was like, the climate of battle rap has changed because 3-4 years ago, Ward was getting clowned for pretty much doing the same thing that I did this year. Maybe not as many battles, and then also it wasn't like he was in tournaments or nothing like that. But the going from state to state and then battling, you know, whatever big names he has, you know what I'm saying? Like it was it was looked down upon. It was like it was like quality over quantity. That's what they was like. It's like, yeah, but what happens when you have quality and quantity? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that? And so I do think that man, you know, I mean, regardless of 33 round battles, bro. 30, and then, you know, also like the Miss Hustle battle didn't go down. You know, I had some other, you know, joints, but I just made sure that every battle that came across my desk, if there was an opportunity to make it 3 rounds, I made it 3 rounds. And that's kind of what helped me out too, because I think a lot of people who were petitioning for me too were some of the battlers who I linked up with and who I battled. I mean, you got somebody like a showstopper out in Black Ice. He saw me battle him the day after I took a tournament battle. Then he came out and battled on another card like probably a couple weeks ago. Saw that I had just battled the week before, and he made a long post and was just like, bro, like Loso makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? So like statements like that were like resonating in the spaces like that. I didn't have to really do too much petitioning for myself. But yeah, I also think in 2 leagues that kind of were coming up this year, TBL and Street Talk with Scoop. I mean, I arguably had I arguably was probably their I mean, they probably wouldn't say, but I probably was their battler of the year. You know what I'm saying? On Street Talk, I feel like I had the best year for Street Talk. I know some people saying Steams, and I feel like with TBL, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like every single card, I was showing out and doing my thing and stuff. And so, I think all in all, I'm always one. I mean, I let the narratives talk. I was always, I'm very, very self-aware. It's not like I'm be like, yeah, I think I'm number one. If y'all want to put me number one, y'all can put me number one. Me personally, I don't think I'm definitely no lower than 10. You know what I'm saying? I do want to beat my highest ranking that I've had. Out of 4, I've gotten 9. 9 was the highest, so I do want to beat that. That'll be something just for me. But if I'm in that conversation, I'm in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna shy away from it, but I do think that I'm no lower than 10. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see where all the names kind of end.
So I want to ask you this question, and then I'll come back to you, Ward, to talk about 2026. How do how did being outside as much as you were this year, right? I know Ward has talked about that process of being outside and having to battle every other weekend, twice in one weekend, which actually I'm gonna come back to that because that'll be a nice segue. But how do you feel like that has changed? Has that changed you as a battler, as a writer, with the amount of times that you battled in 2025?
Yeah. There's no prep time that's too short. Now, I'll just be honest, bro. If somebody what's today? Thursday. If somebody called me, bro, forget that. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up with you, bro. If someone called me tonight, Loso, can you do 3 rounds on Saturday? I would say yes. I would literally tell them yeah, because I could. Like I literally could. And if the money was right, I literally would do it. And so there were just times where before, bro, I remember, bro, there was points where early on, if I didn't get my rounds done a month in advance, I was like considering backing out. I was like, I don't know, 2 weeks in advance. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was one time with my Vixen material, I was kind of cutting the show short, and I was just like, man, I'm panicking. It got to a point where it was like I had like a mental clock. All right, Tuesday of that week I had to. Now I'm gonna be honest, bro. It just keeps getting worse and worse. But I keep doing it. But bro, it could be the morning of. If I battle late, if I battle at like 11 at night, if I know I don't get on stage till like almost 9, 10 at night, and I woke up, I'm like, I could put 390s together and memorize them, but I'll stress myself out. But I could do it though. So that's kind of what's been different this year, where it's like I didn't know. And I told somebody, I did this interview, I was like, bro, you just don't know what you can do until you have to do it. And I was at a point where I just wasn't turning down nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really feel like I needed to, but I wanted to anyway. And I was just like, bro, I'm not backing out of no battle. And so I just went and did every single battle, bro.
That's what's up. So speaking of, Ward, this was Was this the first time you battled back to back, like consecutive days?
No, twice before I think. I think I battled 3 PFD. Man, well, no, it might have been. I thought I battled 3 PFD the same weekend as franchise, but I don't think it was back to back. No, I don't think it was back to back. But I did battle. I did battle Lee Majors on Overflow, and then I battled somebody the next day in Toronto. Maybe Apex. Maybe no. Maybe what's it called? Joey Gambello. I think I did that. I think I battled Lee Majors the day before, and then battled Joey Gambello the next day. Now that was a 1 round, 3 rounds, so like it wasn't 2, 3 rounds. So I think this was my first time doing 6 rounds back to back. Yeah, and
So, well, I guess this was a little bit different because you not to say that it is a little bit different because you had your J material kind of done, right? Like, you made some tweaks here and there, but you kind of had it ready.
yeah, I
But
would say
even
like
still,
60% of the material I had for Jay like made it to the second battle. Like I probably wrote, I probably wrote close to like 4 minutes, maybe no 3 minutes of new material, or whatever. But I did still have to rememorize that stuff and memorize the stuff I had. But yeah, that's why I took the battle, is because I knew that like, hey, I didn't have to do full 3 rounds of writing for Jay and then turn around and do that. But
this is the first time that those were two formidable. Like,
yeah, and that's what I say.
yeah,
this was
TBL
tougher
and
than
URL too. It's like, it's two formidable opponents in two of the top leagues, And when the option like came across my desk, like this whole Cody thing, I told people all the time, 5 years ago, I stopped caring and like emotionally attaching myself because I'm always going to disagree with what they got. And I'm not about to just do that to myself. I'll always promote it. I love Jay Black. I think it's dope. Like I'm not going to be one that says like, don't put me up there. I don't want to win. Absolutely. I would love to win. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not, but when the opportunity came to do that, I'm like, hey, it's the last month of the year. Like, let's try to make another statement. Let's try to go in here and get 2 wins against 2 formidable opponents on the top 2 leagues in the world. And I think I left the weekend in very good shape.
So how did you feel material wise going into your Jack battle, right? Because that was where the majority of your new material came in. So how did you feel after this performance on TBL? Now you're on a plane headed to Orlando. Like, how do you feel going into that battle?
I think what I realized this year is this: the less you try or care, like, the better they like the battles. Like it has to be that, because anybody will tell you my JC material, I wrote it like I was like 92nd rounds, like 72 hours for the battle. I'm sparring with like Sharon and people, and I'm like, I'm about to go sell this mid. Like, let's go sell this mid pack. Like, just have some rebuttals ready. It's battle of the year. I didn't even have a third round getting off the plane for Jack Boy. Like I had two 2-minute rounds, knowing he was going to rap long, and then put together a makeshift third in a hotel, and then went out there, and then it's the first drop on the app,
War, what was the battle? What was the big battle you had before JC? What battle was it that didn't really translate? What was it? The T-Top one, right?
No,
Oh,
T-Top was after JC.
Okay, no, maybe no, but I do think it was the T-Top one. I think people were trying to compare that.
Yeah. No, they were like, we need the award from the JC battle. Yeah,
and what was like, no, I don't, because like you don't know how much I really like wanted to make. Like, sometimes it just doesn't translate that, and it could be whatever. Like, there was mic issues in that battle award. You know what I'm saying? Like it stopped his momentum or whatnot. Like you just sometimes you go in and put your all, but then sometimes, bro, you're just at the lightning strikes. You're in the right place, right crowd.
Great crowd, yeah, great everything, yeah. And it influences the listener so heavily. Rapid 4-minute rounds against T-Top that are like direct and layered and all that good stuff. And then, because of other stuff that I can't control, it's like, and then, yeah. So, man, I'm very thankful for that Jack Boy battle now. I mean, because like, obviously my spirits were a lot higher because it was a great event. It felt like it was so much fun. I had so much fun at the event. Like JB's birthday, they're singing happy birthday. All the battles are good, whatever, coming off of the frustration of the night before. So I'm real thankful for that. But like, my material for Jada Nightwing, in my opinion, was 5 times better than what I had brought for Jack Boy, It's just that energy. When you hit a rebuttal or two, he hits something, you're going back and forth, you're throwing in random, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So what I learned is like, man, like, I'm not saying I'm not gonna stop trying, but I'm just gonna say like, yo, like you never know. You never know what's gonna be deemed as great or what's gonna be deemed as average. And you might write your best stuff and it just doesn't end up that way.
Battle rap Office Space. Just quit trying, and all of a sudden they're like, "Yo, you're the greatest battle rapper of all time." So I want to. So this is my last question, and we'll talk 2026.
But
So
A1, real quick,
yeah, yeah,
just to comment on that. I will say though, I mean, it's not even so much to not try. I mean, like it did translate, but because the trying material, and Ward, you attest to this. I mean, it does hit. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately though, there's little variables that can go ahead and take away from your performance, and it make it seem like that during the Jay and Ward. Bro, I'm pretty. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Jay the Nightwing had amazing material for Ward. But it was just it was in a situation that it was almost unbearable to like really listen. And here's the thing: I don't think Jada Nightwing did anything different than the other 3 or 4 Battle of the Year candidates that he has, right? Tay Rock, Ill Will, stuff like that. He didn't do nothing different. It was just a situation, unfortunately, bro. Like, bro, when I battled J2, everyone was having mic issues before us. We were the first battle that they said, yo, no mics. When we did no mics, me and J2 had a crazy battle. You remember that, A1? You were in the building. This one, Rum Nitty came up to me and said, yo, they said we're not going to do mics. I said, bet. Then they put the mics on us. You know what I'm saying? And it was just all over. You know what I'm saying? It was just terrible. It was cutting out stuff. So, I mean, it's just little things like that. But, like, Ward's material, I do think that it's not the material. It wasn't even that they weren't really we don't know what Philly would have done. I don't know how Philly would have done. But it was because, like, they couldn't really hear them, bro. Like, both of them were straining their voice. And then, like, Jay's situation was a little tougher than Ward's, which in turn made Ward's situation tough. And I don't know if you felt this way, Ward, like, because they're sitting through Jay's material that wasn't hitting because they couldn't hear him and yada, yada, yada. Now, when Ward comes up, it's like, if Ward's not quick to the punch or rebuttaling or saying something crazy, like the JAWN, you know what I'm saying? Like, that hits. But then it's like, if he's trying to, like, set a stage for this angle, they just weren't being patient with it. And so it wasn't at it was just like a lot of times, bro, it's just your situation, bro. It's just like, oh, snap. The URL one was just 10 times, which helped Ward a lot. Like, he would test that. It's just like, yo, you needed something else to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, make the weekend really, really dope, which that ended up being it. But yeah, bro, I don't think it was the material at all. It's just the situation, the different variables that unfortunately take away from a good performance.
One thing me and Loso talk about all the time is like when you're, and this is gonna sound very egotistical, like when you're this good, like even the stuff that you write that you're like, that's not that great, is better than most people. You know, like we don't have the ability to just write whack stuff on pieces of paper. Like it doesn't pop into our mind. Like whack material, like it doesn't, I would never just think to myself, like, oh, you know, I'm cold, brother, like Eskimos neighbors, you know, or whatever. Like, you know, like or whatever. I don't know. There's something, you know. Yeah, like it never crosses my mind to be like that, like, yo, no. So it's like a lot of times our floor is still B plus material. So when I say like
competitive,
going into the Jack Boy main or the JC main, a JC battle or a Jack Boy battle, when I say like, oh, I feel like it's not as tight, as airtight or whatever as maybe my T top or these other battles, it's still good material because we're some of the best in the world, and that's what we do. We write good material, you know.
And it's mainly, and sometimes it's mainly I mean, when we're making those comments, it's probably just angle based. Like we're not really thinking like, oh, you know what, I could have really expounded on this. We're just not giving that much effort in that department. But just coming up with the punches and definitely the delivery. I mean, the delivery is going to be A1 there. But I mean, bro, there were times where I remember Chilla went to the group chat to Ward and was like, he's at one of my battles. He's like, yo, this is the best Loso yet. And Ward's like, bro, he literally wrote that last night. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm, you know, or somebody, or like me and Ward get this a lot, and this is no shot, but we know what we could do, bro. Even the no name battles or like the small leagues that we're doing, if you were there and you saw the reception from the league owners and the battlers, like, bro, how many times have battlers told us, Ward, bro, I'm so glad you took us serious. And you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't want to
You're
tell
right.
you the truth.
But you say okay, because for them, bro, and this analogy I take all the time, A1. What Ward and I emulate in those situations, it's Devin Booker at LA Fitness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna be like, dog, I couldn't keep up with Devin Booker. Devin Booker was just, and it's just like, bro, he probably didn't tie his shoes, but yeah, he did a crossover, but that's something that he practices all the time. And it's literally, that's the only analogy I could think of. It's Devin Booker at LA Fitness, and he's probably going 15-20%, but it's still another level. You know what I'm saying? Now that doesn't always translate that way, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So
Yeah, that reminds me. I have to see if I can find a video, but there's a video of D Wade playing with some regular dudes. Like he crosses one guy up, goes in, dunks it. The guy he crossed up is like high five. High five. Like he high fives Wade coming back down on the other end. It's like, nah, brother, like what are you doing?
yeah.
I got
So Loso,
about 10 minutes left. I got to go do this face off.
yep. Oh, there speaking of. Anyway,
And by
Loso,
face off, he's talking about the Bucks game.
No, I got to do it. No, it's not. It's already been talked about. I just got a battle on the 27th with Alias, the dude from Bullpen.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Loso, do you plan on being outside? Maybe not 30 times, but do you plan on being outside with as much frequency in 26 as you were this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, bro, it got to a point where I was just like, when I said I was available, like leagues contacted me. And so where I would normally be like, wasn't really budging on a number, I just worked out a number that was just like, because it got easier. I was just like, I mean, I told Ward several times, I was just like, bro, why I'm not doing nothing. What am I gonna do on Saturday? I'm probably gonna spend $200 anyway today. Why don't I go make 750, 850 on the back end? You know what I'm saying? 1500, together. Like in my mind, I'm like, that's a good week for anybody. Like, who wouldn't want to make 1500 in a week? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna write this on Friday morning. I'm gonna go perform it on Saturday, and I'm gonna come back with an extra check. Get the bills paid and stuff. So, if it does come across my desk, next year, we'll see what happens. I mean, I still want to focus on, obviously, brand building battles. But yeah, I'm right now. I mean, I have probably 2 battles booked for January. So we'll see what happens after that. Definitely want to do some more 2-on-2s, at least 2. We haven't done 2 in 1 year, but definitely want to do another one.
As Loso's manager, I would just like to say the price has gone up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So you heard those numbers. Don't hit his inbox. I'm just going to send you a counter offer right now. So just so y'all know. All right. So Ward, for 2026, who do you have set? Who do you have your sights set on for 2026?
Oh man, there's a handful of battlers. Already announced is official and Young Grizz. So those are 2 battles that are in January already. Excited to be in New Orleans and Sacramento on Westworld. Never battled on Westworld. Never been to Sacramento. So that's really dope. Official in New Orleans is going to be a tall task. Loso's battled her in New Orleans before. Like it's not easy, but I mean, I'm enjoying that. I'm gonna enjoy that. Outside of that, though, I did 2 battles on URL this year, and I started on URL in September. Was my first battle. So I would love to do like maybe 4 on URL next year. A couple on TBL. King of the Dot is coming back. It looks like with an event. I would love a Riot event. I didn't get I did. Coffee Brown was a Riot battle this year, so that was dope. So I love a Riot battle. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm looking at the different battles, the different scenarios, the different opponents, like make them make sense. Like Jack Boy made sense on URL. I would take a Snake Eyes on a Riot. Like I would take Jazz the Rapper on a Riot. I would take Shoddy Horror on King of the Dot, or like there's just a lot of battles. Chess. I would take Chess on URL. I would take Chess on a Winter Madness 2 if Calico puts together a Winter Madness 2. But there's still a lot of guys. Fonz on URL. There's still a lot of guys out there. Eunice, different opponents. And then maybe towards the end of the year we try one more time with the Twerk battle if he's back active and consistently putting on good shows and stuff like that. So there's a lot to look forward to. A lot of leagues I want to work on. I want to get, I'm battling Alabama at the end of this month. The reason I took the battle was because I want to battle in every state. I would love to do 50 states, and I haven't battled in Alabama before. So there's some places that I still want to battle, other states. And so, yeah, man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for what we've already got booked. And hopefully it just keeps going into the rest of the year.
Yo, Premier of London. Like, if y'all want to make it happen, bring the young boy to Manchester. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to George. Met up. He lives in Manchester. I would love to go to Manchester to watch a battle, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Loso, 2026. So you got your sights set on?
Man, probably Ill Will, Swamp, Real Sick, and Av. Those probably the four that I would want to lock in with. But other than that, though, I mean, again, situations. I'm more interested in situations than names per se. But if there's a big card, if there's a situation for a 2-on-2, that me and Ward go and knock out, that's exciting. Anything that just get people talking. And also, yeah, cities too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't went to like, oh man, I gotta get that for. Yeah, I haven't been to like Alaska. Want to go back overseas. And we still have a pending, and then all of this is like, these are desires, but like all of this, I think we still have a pending tour next year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Like Africa.
Yeah.
And so we have dates and stuff. So, we're trying to just make sure that we fit in a bunch of stuff in between them. But yeah, those would be the four names that I'm thinking right now at the top of my head. We're locking with.
All right, cool. You forgot the most important one though. When we gonna link up to talk about this Notre Dame thing, so I can put you in the box? Cause
y'all, man, it was good talking to y'all, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man. But anyway, we appreciate y'all pulling up on us, man. Loso, appreciate you pulling up,
Always, man.
as always. Remember, you can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, wherever you get the good podcast. Give us 5 stars, leave a comment, share that broadcast. You can also check us out on YouTube at Brains and Bars. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, share that broadcast. Tell a friend it's them boys again. Until next time, Ward, appreciate you, man.
Faith comes by hearing.
I see Loso should have stayed on just for that part.
All right, man.
All right, man. Holla at y'all. Y'all be easy. See y'all next week.